Hello everybody, my name is Super Chicken. I think I might have found a warrior deck that works, and I make no claim to say that I invented it or even changed it at all, actually. A friend of mine pointed it out to me and said that I might like it, and I do. Here it is here. I have practically almost 100% carbon copied it, but it's doing pretty well. I have noticed a lot of other people are also playing this deck, so there's a very good chance that we're going to be running into a mirror match when we go in. I haven't made any sort of adjustments to accommodate for that mirror match. I'm just sort of going to jump in and do it. In case you didn't see in the tooltip there, this is a warrior aggro deck. I was mucking around a lot with making a lot of control warriors where, you know, you would abuse shield block and shield slam and armor up and that sort of thing to go to the late game where you would run 5 or so really big drops where you would just sort of punish the enemy. Things like Ragnaros, Ysira, Alexstrasza, Grommash, etc. And that went alright, but I always sort of found that other decks were just sort of doing the late game a little bit better, personally. But I never really looked at making an aggro deck. And this one has been doing really well. We saw it on a stream earlier, and it was the guy was just winning game after game after game with it. Of course, he was a significantly much better player than I am, but I am going to be giving this a go anyway. I think we want to get rid of the cards that basically aren't 1-drops, and we pretty much want to get rid of cards that aren't necessary creatures. And the necessary creatures to me seem to be things like Lepinome and things that I can get down really, really early. It should also, it should also be worth pointing out that this deck is actually really, really, really cheap to build. So if you are building a deck on a budget, this would be something that you definitely probably want to look at. There is only one legendary in the whole deck, and that's Leroy Jenkins. I believe you could swap that out with practically anything you want if you didn't happen to have that card. If you only had enough dust to craft one legendary, this would probably be the choice, but I'll leave that up to you. Yeah, otherwise everything, there's not that many rares. I mean, only a couple of rares. Pretty much everything is either a common or a class card, so. Anyway, that being said, here we are. I think the aim of the deck, not that I created it, but I'm sort of sensing that the aim of the deck here is to get board control and then murder them with face damage. So I want to remove this creature here. I could probably put down a Harvest Golem with the coin, though. That is probably even better than using the axe. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rush out that Harvest Golem. The reason I went the Harvest Golem that time is because I can trade with the Kobold. Even if I do get backstabbed for 3 damage, because the Kobold will make backstab do 1 extra damage. So he could backstab my Harvest Golem and kill it. But, well, I guess he could still do that, really, and then he could use his dagger on it. So maybe that was actually a horrible play, and maybe I just got lucky there. But basically, my thought process was that I could use the damage golem to remove his Kobold Geomancer, which is, you know, which is good. Anyway, we're lucky. We still have a creature. I could just bash into it and get my broken golem, damaged golem. But I'm actually thinking I might just use Fiery War Axe on the minion and then swing through for 2, and then keep our rebirth things. That way you won't be able to clean it up with the Wicked Knife. I think that's what we're going to do. Clear that out of the way and start swinging. I'm not going to cast Upgrade yet, although it wouldn't be a bad idea. The only thing is I just don't want to get slimed and then waste my charge. I think... See, because next turn I'm going to be casting one of these 2 minions, more likely the Korkron Elite. And then I won't have enough mana for the upgrade. But if I cast it now, I could be susceptible to a Acidic Swampooze. And they are around, especially, and a lot of people are actually putting them in decks specifically for this deck that I'm playing here. But also they incidentally take out the Hunter Aggro Eaglehorn Bow, and they might even snag like a Paladin True Silver Champion or something like that. So it seems like a good addition, the Acidic Swampooze right now. But I think we'll just hold it. I don't think we need to jam it just now. That said, though, I can probably, as an alternate line of play right now, I could probably go Ardent Squire, upgrade, and then armor up. Which would be fine. Thing is, if I put the Corcoran Elite down, it's going to get killed with the Wicked Knife, and I sort of want him to waste it on the damage golem here. So I might actually do that. I might actually use Upgrade right now. And if he plays an Acidic Swamp Ooze, I can just charge it down with the Corcoran Elite. I think I'll do that. This could be the wrong play. I'm happy for people to correct me here, because I believe people do play this deck a lot better than I do. But that's what I decided to do. I mean, otherwise I swing for 4 with Corcoran Elite, and then he daggers it, and then he takes, I guess, another 4 damage. Well, see, that wouldn't have been so bad either, then I was finishing with Leroy. Anyway, we're here now. Let's not dwell on that. That said, though, like, the amount of swings I'm going to get with this 4 damage axe now, because it's a 4 damage axe. Actually, that's a bug right there. It isn't actually displaying the tooltip. You know when you mouse over some of these, you can actually see what the actual health is. So if they've taken damage, you can actually sort of see on the card. But when you actually do it with a weapon, it doesn't seem to. Because I'm 4. You can see it right here, 4 and 1, but it doesn't actually come up there. Anyway, that's something I've just noticed, and I'm very happy. Okay, so the question is, can we actually win the game from here? I'm not sure. Maybe 6 from him, 4 from Heroic Strike. I don't have enough mana. Might have to be next turn then. If I do 4... Let's see. Just some quick maths. Trying to work it out here. 8 will, with the Heroic Strike, 9 with that. We can develop the board with Nightblade, which is probably the best option right now. Or we can try to trade the Corcoran Elite into Violet Teacher and lose the bubble here. No, I think I'd probably just... I think I want to get rid of that. I just don't want him to Defender of Argus it. I can't actually kill him this turn, I don't think. Or at least I can't see a way to do it. Not with 5 mana, so I think we just go for developing the board a little bit. That seems to be the best option. I think we'll... Corcoran Elite seems the best one. Corcoran Elite and lose the Divine Shield to take out the Violet Teacher. The alternative would be to play Nightblade, swing, put him on 3 damage. But I think I'd rather remove some of these pesky creatures. We're gonna do that. I could do this with the axe. I'm gonna do it with the axe. Change of mind. Last minute change of mind. I just want to keep the creature on the board. I think that's maybe even more valuable. And pass the turn. I often make a lot of wrong decisions, especially when that timer comes up. It makes me really, really nervous. It's like a freaking bomb and it's fizzing and I don't know. Okay, so he gave up. If he's seen the deck before, then he probably knows that he's going to die next turn. But if he hasn't seen the deck before, he probably just gave up and, maybe he wasn't having a good day. Maybe he wasn't hitting his draws. I don't know. Let's try to get another one going. Anyway, I have been playing it a lot, and I gotta say, sorry, beg your pardon, I should say, I've been playing it a lot in the last day and a half, okay? So not a lot. I've noticed I actually come up in the mirror match a lot, and it's a warrior versus warrior. And usually the better warrior or the slightly tuned warrior deck will win. I am neither the better warrior nor the finer tuned warrior, so unfortunately we're just trying to avoid that matchup. Another rogue, let's see if it's the same guy. No, it's a different guy. Okay, we're gonna get rid of these 2 things. We generally try to have board advantage and try to win around turn 5 or 6 if things go well. And you're not going to get that done by holding these. So we want the Lepidome. That's a really good turn 1 play. And see what we pull out. Yep, cool. Two 5-costing spells and abilities. Excellent. It's fine. We'll just play what we can, and hopefully we'll just draw into some action that comes up in turn 2, 3, and 4. The only problem with playing things like Lepidome with 1 toughness is that he can pretty much effortlessly dispatch it with Dagger Mastery. I mean, if you wanted to, at the very least, at the absolute very least, assuming he has no other viable cards, he can do the coin into Dagger Mastery and then take out our minion before he goes crazy and does a lot of unnecessary damage. So that's a really good play for him, I think, because not that he knows it, but I have no other play. I'm actually very lucky to have drawn into a play just then, otherwise I just would have armored up and done nothing. And basically I would have handed tempo of the game over to him. I've decided to discharge one of the charges on the Fiery War Axe now. That the main reason that I do that is to minimize the effect of acidic swamp ooze, because if he takes out 2 charges, I mean, I could have at least swung at him once. But generally speaking, I don't like to get rid of the last charge unless I can bury it into a creature or get something really valuable with it. I think we're going to play Harvest Golem or use the charge and then put another axe down. I think we're going to use the axe on his loot hoarder, but then we're going to use Harvest Golem in the same turn. I think that's the play. Let's do that. Get rid of that, put this down, and pass the turn. I'm still working the intricacies of this deck out at the moment, but and I've spoken to some friends about it, and they've informed me that the way to play it is to sort of assert early board control, which I mean makes sense, and then basically use all your abilities to go to the face as rapidly as humanly possible. So that's good. I like that. That's actually an alright card to pull out as well. We can go 1, 2. And then bury an axe into him. I think we're a little bit lucky at the moment. We're sort of, we are dictating the pace of this game. We're asking the questions and then he has to answer them. So, you know, and we've been lucky to draw into enough action so that I've been able to play something every single turn despite not having anything in my opening hand that was any good. Okie doke. Honestly, the play here seems to me like play Nightblade, bury the axe in the loot hoarder, and then pass. I just want to go over the alternatives, though. I can bury this axe in, well, either of these. Most likely the loot hoarder, and then I could equip the Arcanite Reaper. But I haven't really developed the board in that scenario, and I can use the Arcanite Reaper as a haste attack the following turn. The only other thing that I could consider doing is maybe Fairy Dragon and Armor Up, but he's not even threatening our life total, so we're going to play Nightblade. Gonna get rid of that. It's gonna make him handling this creature a lot harder. It just means that he can't then backstab it and then suicide his minion into it, because that would be 4 damage on my Nightblade. But now he's got to actually have to, you know, he's gonna have to combo an Eviscerate or something like that to handle the Nightblade in an effective manner. And I mean, next turn we'll have enough mana to cast Arcanite Reaper, so I can actually play that and swing with it on the same turn. So in a way, it's like a haste creature. So he'll be taking 9 damage next turn, assuming that I don't get something better. Possibly more if I've got the mana for it, which I unfortunately am 1 mana off killing him this turn, I think. That would be 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, he's just shy anyway. My mistake. Let's put that there. Put this here. He is within burn range now. We have a lot of reach style moves, whether it be Heroic Strike, Assorted Axes, Mortal Strike, even another Nightblade or Leroy Jenkins or an Argent Commander. I mean, he's just put an Argent Commander down, but we have our own. So we shall see. I mean, he just straight up dies. Like, I just cast Heroic Strike and then he explodes. So let's go there. 13. Boom. I might actually get 4 games in this video, and usually I like to do 3, but that's because I usually play long, dreary, and grindy sort of decks, and that usually take, you know, upwards of 15 turns to complete a game. This one seems to be doing pretty well at about 5 or 6 or 7 turns. So, because it's actually quite fast, and the other games are quite fast, I might be able to squeeze an extra one in. Yeah, like I was saying before, the deck is quite cheap to build. I haven't actually worked out the dust requirements for it, and I am sure you can make some consolations if you are unhappy to fork out, or are unwilling to, or cannot get a Leroy Jenkins or something like that. I'm sure that you can find some other cards that will fill and still make the deck quite good, because at its core, you don't need a Leroy to win, as that last game's, you know, more or less demonstrated. Another rogue. It's Rogue Day, I think. Maybe our 4th game won't have a rogue. I'm going to ditch that. It's unnecessary. This is too heavy. We're going to keep this because it's some action. I would really like to see some 1-drops come out right now. That's okay. We can deal. We have a couple of options for our first turn. Oh, well, yeah, not first turn. Second turn. More axes! Let's just pass the turn. I don't know, what's with the sudden influx of rogues? I'm not too sure. Is there a tournament result that I don't know about?
I can wait and fish all day.
That's actually a little bit problematic because I don't think I have a way to hit that unless I draw a, well, I can't even think of the name of the card now. Heroic Strike. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to do much for us. So I'm going to put in a Fairy Dragon. Unfortunately, he'll get another fishing attempt. I'll pass the turn, but I'll be able to finish him with the Fairy Dragon and the Fiery War Axe together. I could have played a Fiery War Axe just then, and then I guess I could have swung at him, but he'd still be on 1 life, and it doesn't really do much. It doesn't really prime our Fairy Dragon for any sort of real action. I'm sort of happy for him to continue to beat on my Fairy Dragon and not kill it, though. That's pretty good. This Snaphagel's the fishing expert. He's hit his fish twice in a row now, so that's awesome. Let's just... I think we just got to put an end to it. I think we got to get rid of him. Yeah, we got to get rid of him. And my axe. Pass it in. Next turn we'll probably be looking to put a Bloodsail Raider out, assuming that we don't have our axe destroyed. But even if we do have our axe destroyed, we can go Fiery War Axe, Bloodsail Raider in 1 turn. So that's not too bad. That'll make the pirate a strength 5 pirate, and that really sort of makes you think about what you want, what you gotta, you know, you have to have the right card to act on that. Otherwise, he's just gonna sort of flog you for a lot of life. Yeah, this Fairy Dragon did a lot of work. I mean, he effectively hit him twice. Whilst removing an Pagel, so that's pretty good. I think we'll go Bloodsail Raider. Remove this. Do I just put the axe down now? I think I'm going to actually armor up. I can always cast that next turn. Going on 5 mana. No, I'm probably going to put the Arcanite Reaper down next turn, so if I just armor up and I'll cast the Arcanite Reaper next turn. Assuming, of course, that I don't draw into something more profitable. The good thing about having a 5/3 cheap creature like that means that they really sort of... They're going to have to do something about that. Because they're going to take 5 damage. So we're sort of, you know, dictating what their turn will do. If we had an empty board, they'd be more than happy to, you know, Defiance Ringleader or, you know, some sort of weird combination of stuff. I don't know. The other thing is, no matter what they put down, I don't think there's anything at that mana cost that is tougher than 5 attack. So even like a Chillwind Yeti, I can trade with that. Not that he's going to play a Chillwind Yeti, but not a lot is really scaring me at the moment. And he's taking a lot of self damage at the moment, using his daggers primarily as the main source of removal, which might end up being bad for the rogue player, because this deck has a lot of burn damage or a lot of reach. Or so it seems.
You shall not pass.
That's actually a slightly annoying card. I'm probably just going to Arcanite Reaper it and just chop it out of the way. We are a little bit exposed to an Acidic Swamp Ooze, but I don't really think that matters. Because then we just put down the Fiery War Axe and continue axing things.
Give me a quest.
This is our town, scrub.
Is this the Miracle Rogue? I don't know. Okie doke. How are we going to handle this? I have a huge axe and I'd like to bury it in someone. I sort of think that we should probably get rid of this before it gets out of hand. I'm just wondering if I should use my Corcoran Elite or my Argent Commander. I actually think I'm leaning towards the Corcoran Elite.
I wonder.
I mean, we'll trade the Corcoran Elite will die in the process. But I don't think that that's the end of the world. I mean, the alternative is that we can play Argent Commander and swing into him and it will take him out and then he'll be forced to use the Defiance Ringleader to kill the Argent Commander. Which seems fine, I suppose. Or do I just go for the face? I mean, I have 5 there, that'll take him to 14, and another 4, which will take him to 10. The problem is this could get really, really big, especially if he does some huge miracle combo. I think that has to go. I think that's what we've pretty much established here. I'm going to do it with the Argent Commander, purely because I expect him to use his Defiance Ringleader to finish him off. So I'm going to pop that away. And I'm going to bury the axe in him, actually. I'm going to go for the head. That could have been a mistake. Truly. Maybe there's a chance maybe I should have put it in the ringleader. I'm sort of expecting him to trade off. Yeah, just like that. So we'll see.
I got the best deals anywhere.
I think that's good. We might, depending on how much mana we have next turn, 7. We won't be able to use these 2 cards together, but. Well, I mean, conceal's an interesting choice. I mean, it means that I can't just Corcoran Elite his Auctioneer, which is almost certainly what I would do. Unfortunately, though, I'm probably just going to have to Corcoran Elite his health total now. I think I just put everything down.
The light protects me.
He's in a bad way because these 2 together will be 8 damage, and unless he throws down an Earthen Ring Farseer or something like that, he's just going to die next turn. Yeah. Well, that one... This game has gone reasonably well as well. The only problem is that I've played against 3 rogues, so I haven't necessarily demonstrated a diverse playing field. I will do one extra game after this one. I'm just sort of hoping that we don't pull another rogue, or at least a rogue that's trying to, I don't know, not be the miracle rogue, I guess. And just... Because what I really want to do is I want to see how versatile this deck, what this deck list is. I might actually do another video on it. It's a lot of fun to play. Another feature of this deck, I'd say, is that it, assuming that you can continue winning with it, which, if you're good at it, you'll keep doing it. If you're like me, you'll probably only win about half the games. But because the games go so fast, if you're actually wanting to grind to a higher rank, this might actually be a good one to do. Because, I mean, if you're going to sit down for 2 hours and play the game, you'll fit in far more games in that 2 hours than you would if you played a control deck. And if you can get a comparable win ratio out, you're actually grinding up pretty fast. If you enjoy it, that's even better. Now, I don't know what... Here comes the combo, but he's just started his miracle combo as the time is going down. So this could be... This is him working under a clock now. I think... Unless he gives haste to that questing adventurer, he just dies. I don't even need to use my minions. Unfortunately for him, he just dies on board. Yeah, I mean... Here. I don't even need to use these, and let's just keep them in our hand. Oh, he gave up, he wouldn't let me do it. You couldn't wait the 1 second? Okay, alright, let's do one more. Let's hope for not a rogue, though. I mean, I haven't played it enough to know which are the good matchups or which are the bad matchups, but maybe this versus the rogue is just a really, really good matchup for us. I wasn't overly troubled by those last 3 decks. I mean, the last 3 opponents that we faced, they seem to be reasonably easy. It could just be a coincidence, though. I mean, they may not have hit whatever they were trying to do. I realized if that miracle combo goes off, it can be quite painful, but this is a pretty fast deck, so it doesn't give you a lot of time to get that done. Okay, Uther, excellent. We got another type of class here. We can really test this out, see what happens. Gonna get rid of the Arcanite Reaper and the Mortal Strike. They just cost too much. I'm gonna keep these 2. They're cheap and fun, and you can get them out pretty fast. Let's see what we get. I mean, if we ditched one of these, like, there's a chance that we just might draw into uglier, fatter cards, so I don't think it's necessarily the way to go. I mean, not when we have guaranteed early action like that. I'm just gonna pass the turn. Hello, sorry. I was talking.
Greetings.
I'm going to try to... Yeah, those reinforcements can be a little bit annoying. Not sure how we're going to go about this. I think I'm just going to put down the Bloodsail Raider. I'm just wondering if I want to do the Fairy Dragon instead. Bloodsail Raider will just absorb more of these guys. That's the reason I'm going to choose that one over the Fairy Dragon. The Fairy Dragon's only going to take, well, 2, isn't he?
What now?
Yeah, I'm going to go the Bloodsail. This could be... Well, I have 2 mana. I might as well just put the Frothing Berserker out. Yeah, actually, the Frothing Berserker is probably even better than those 2 options combined. We're going to go there. It's going to be hard for him to trade Silverhand Recruits into it endlessly. He's going to have to play a True Silver Champion, which he can't even do this turn. I can't offhand. Maybe Hammer of Wrath, but that would require him to have an extra mana as well. Ooh, this could be bad or really good. I'm not sure. This is going to supercharge my. That's not a good card to play against this guy. I mean, what are the odds of all three going into him? Pretty bad. I'm sure that's easily calculatable, but it's still pretty bad. You don't want to try that. That said, I don't want to give him a round to attempt to attack that, so I might actually take it out with Heroic Strike. Unfortunately, I don't have a weapon. Otherwise, I'd equip a weapon. But I'm going to Heroic Strike that away. Yeah, and I'm going to hit him for 5. Oh, well, it'll be 6 actually if you, because he'll trigger. I think that was a mistake on his part. I think there are cleaner answers. I mean, I could go into Consecration right now. It is low enough to die to a Consecration, but he did take an unnecessary 6 damage, I think. Consecration would be the play, otherwise I'm expecting Hammer of Wrath. A true silver champion. No. Okay, there's our axe. I'm just wondering, I mean, I could do Leopard Gnome plus axe to get rid of it to keep this guy, and he'll be quite large. Then he'd be, well, he'd be an 8. No, he'd be a 9, wouldn't he? He'd be a 9, I'll swing through for 9, that seems pretty good. The combo of that would be Leopard Gnome and axe does 5 damage, he will do 2 damage of his own, and then he will do 9. It's 11 damage this turn, is pretty good. The alternative would be to... Let's see now. Some sort of comp, maybe Corcoran Elite, and then you lose it. No, because I'd lose the Corcoran Elite in that process if you did attack. I think the axe seemed really, really good. I don't think much is going to top that play. That's really good. So I'm just going to hit this. It's not often that this gets this big. I mean, it looks really cool that it's that's so big right now, but it doesn't often get that big. I played this Bloodsail Raider over the Fairy Dragon because if he does Consecrate next turn, this won't die, whereas this will. And then that's a blowout, and I don't really need that. So if he does Consecrate, I'll at least live and have a 5 damage creature on the board, plus my axe. The alternative would be to have dropped, I don't know, the Argent Squire, but that's more of a turn 1 play. If you can play this and make it a 5/3, then you're doing a lot better, I think. I can't actually think of many cards that's going to pull him out of this situation. He's going to be receiving a lot of damage. Okay, there's the Consecration. This will actually live, which is why we played this one instead. I think he sort of had to do that, though, because he was going to die otherwise. Can I Corcoran Elite and upgrade in the same turn? I can. Does that kill him? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, it does. So let's do that. Turn 5. Excellent. Let's go again. I'll tell you what, let's do a number 5. 5 and 1. These are going too fast for me to stop now. One more. It's really good because I lost a few ranks trying to test out a few different types of warrior decks. As I said before, I was working on a lot of mostly control, honestly, because I really wanted to abuse the hero power, which is armor up. And armor up, I mean, in my mind, what's the best way to abuse that power? And I was thinking sort of like, okay, so it's sort of like a bad priest heal, because it can only cast on yourself. But what makes it good, I suppose the fact would be that you can take yourself beyond 30 life with it. So I sort of thought, oh, you know, we'll abuse that. We'll try to get up to 40 life, 50 life, or whatever you got to do just to get as high as you can with by armoring up and casting shield block and armor smiths and that sort of thing. But, you know, I mean, there's a lot of decks that do really, really well in the end game, especially druids and a few other ones, so it wasn't working. Anyway, here we are. These are staying. I think if you've seen the earlier games, it's because they're castable and small. These ones are a little bit too big at the moment. We can draw into them later. This will allow us to have a reasonably explosive start. Ooh, that's very spicy. I think we just open with Leopard Gnome, we keep the coin. Keep the coin, you might be able to coin into a Earthy Weaponsmith or something like that. Just one turn quicker. Seems a little bit better than coining into, say, Fairy Dragon. Seems to make more of an impact. I mean, I've tried coining into Fairy Dragon and Fiery War Axe, and I've spoken to some guys on Twitter, and it doesn't seem like the best use of your abilities. I'm going to test what this is. I'm just going to face check it, I think, with the Leper Gnome. The alternative would be to... I mean... No, I almost certainly don't want to do that. I'm just going to go with this first. See what it is. Yeah, we want to check what it is before we play our other creatures and then lose them to the secret. I think I'm going to play Fairy Dragon and pass. Fairy Dragon. Okay. We're just gotta work out what type of hunter this is. There's a lot of sort of aggressive hunters around at the moment. Just gotta work out what he is. And we shall be doing alright. I'm not actually sure if I want to cast my second minion here, because I can sort of enable multi-shot. I'm actually wondering if it's worth doing that. The good thing about that would be that he would get quite big, because multi-shot wouldn't actually kill him. So maybe that's okay to play. So it's either him or cast Fiery War Axe, I think, which is another 3 damage. I just don't want to enable him to have options. That's the only problem. I think we'll do it anyway. This can sort of act like a haste. I'm doing air quotes right now. No one can see that, but I'm doing it. It's like a haste creature. And the reason I say that is because you can activate it the turn that he comes down and swing. So deploying your creatures earlier so that they can swing later at the same time as the Fiery War Axe seems to be better than just playing that swinging and then playing a creature, have it sit around with summoning sickness before you can swing it again. So that's the only reason I did that. It was a little bit risky being susceptible to area of effect things like multi-shot, but anyway, it worked out okay. Gotta see what this is. It could be a misdirection, could be flame trap, could be, you know, freezing trap. So I think maybe I'll lead with the Fairy Dragon and just see where that gets me. We'll see where that gets me. Freezing trap. Okay. The reason that's actually the reason I used Fairy Dragon instead of Frothing Berserker. The other ones would have exploded or misdirected regardless, but the Frothing Berserker costs a little bit more, so the cost increase that you get from Freezing Trap isn't as noticeable on the Fairy Dragon. A little bit. Alright, well, let's just get in there. I'm gonna put this down and start swinging my axe, I think. I could have recasted the Fairy Dragon, that might have even been the safer option, but I decided to put down the Urithi Weaponsmith just to equip this to get that little boost of damage sort of going on there. Fairy Dragon might have actually been the better choice. I'm actually a little bit uncertain, because if I do get multi-shotted, I'd probably prefer to lose the Fairy Dragon than the Urithi Weaponsmith. But then again, I got an axe out of it, so, you know. Gee, what do we do here? I'm actually half thinking that we play the Nightblade. The alternative would be to play Fairy Dragon. I think I want to play Nightblade because it won't die to another Flame Trap, whereas Fairy Dragon will. Because I don't want to flood the board too much and then get blown out by a Flame Trap, although my Frothing Berserker will be enormous. I think we're just going to cast this. I mean, we can only cast one anyway. Unless you go Fairy Dragon coin into... Gee, what would you even go into? Mortal, Heroic Strike, and we're not... I don't think we're looking at lethal damage right now, so we're just going to do this. That's actually a reasonably good card. I mean, a 4/4's pretty good. I'm going to use the axe. I'm just going to deploy it. I'm just going to rush him down a little bit. The reason I broke the axe is because I'm holding other axes. If you don't have another axe, it's usually not as a good thing. Unless he plays a taunt creature, I don't think we're overly concerned about what he does with this combo. Unless he, I mean, could he lethal us from here? I don't think so, not with 2 mana, no. He's getting bigger! That's gotta be an arcane shot, maybe. There it is. That was cool. I like that. He's got a very large creature now. That's very scary. Okay, how do we do this? I just need to do 11 damage in 1 turn. So I would imagine we go an axe, Heroic Strike and Upgrade gives me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage on the axe. 9, 10, 11 exactly on the nose, and that should finish him. Let me just check the mana on that. 2, 3, 5. We have a coin, so that's fine. We could use Mortal Strike in that combination, but I don't think it's necessary. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Hiya! There you go. 5 games in a row, not bad. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you like the look of this deck. I certainly do. Like I said before, it's a very cheap deck to put together. It is, let me find it for you. There you are. Very cheap deck to put together. It's fast, so I mean, if you're competent and win well with it, or if the meta stays where it is, you're in a good position to win regularly and quickly, so you'll be able to climb that ladder. Anyway, if you have any questions, come chat to me on Twitter. My name is SuperChickenAU, or leave a comment in the section below. Thank you very much for watching.